All right, let's talk about something that could totally change your workflow as a QA engineer or a developer. If you've ever wanted to tap into the power of those massive AI models, but felt like your hardware was holding you hostage, then you're going to want to hear this. Let's break down how it all works and what it really means for you.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dive into why running large language models on your own machine is such a pain. Then we'll introduce Ollama Cloud as the answer. We'll see why it's a total game changer for QA, and we'll even look at some real-world numbers. And finally, we'll get into how you can start using it, plus what this all means for what's next in AI-powered testing. Okay, so let's set the stage with a problem that I'm pretty sure a lot of you know all too well. We're talking about the local LLM problem. And yeah, the struggle is definitely real.
Does this feel familiar? You try to run one of those cutting-edge AI models, and suddenly your laptop fans go into overdrive. Everything just slows to a crawl. You almost feel like it's about to, lift off the desk. Yeah, you're not alone in this. The real issue here is just a massive hardware mismatch. I mean, our laptops are great for most things we do day to day, but what these giant AI models need, they need the raw power of a supercomputer. And trying to make your laptop do that kind of work is what causes all the headaches. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of why it's so frustrating. First off, these huge models need a ridiculous amount of GPU power to run well. Your typical dev or QA laptop, it's just not built for that. So what happens? The execution is painfully slow, the whole experience feels laggy, and honestly, sometimes the results you get back just aren't reliable because your system is completely maxed out. But what if you could have all that supercomputer power without actually needing a supercomputer? This brings us to the elegant solution to this whole hardware mess: Ollama Cloud. So what is it exactly? Well, to put it simply, Ollama Cloud is the bridge over that hardware gap. It lets you run and interact with these enormous AI models right from your own computer, like they were installed locally. But here's the magic part. All the heavy lifting, all that intense number crunching, it's all happening on powerful servers in the cloud, not on your machine. And the process is just brilliantly simple. You type a command in your terminal, just like you normally would. That command zips over to the Ollama Cloud, which does all the hard work, and then boom, you get the final output sent right back to you, and it is incredibly fast. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of your laptop like it's just your TV and a game controller. The cloud, that's the PlayStation 5. You're the one pressing the buttons. You're in control. But all the real horsepower, the graphics, the processing, that's all happening somewhere else. It just perfectly explains the concept. Okay, so the tech is cool, but what does this actually mean for QA engineers on a day-to-day basis? Let's talk about how this can seriously supercharge your workflow. All of a sudden, this whole new world just opens up. And the best part? You don't need a crazy expensive GPU to get in. You can generate really complex test cases in an instant, or take massive log files and summarize them in seconds. But think bigger than that. Imagine building a tool that uses AI to automatically write and run tests for new features. We're talking about that level of power. Let's just put these two side by side because it really drives the point home. With a local model, your machine is doing all the work, your memory is getting eaten up, it's slow, and the whole experience is just laggy. With the cloud model, the compute is on Ollama's servers, your memory usage is almost nothing, the speed is fast, and the experience is just smooth. It's a night and day difference. Theory is great and all, but the proof is in the performance, right? Let's see how Ollama Cloud actually stacks up in a real-world test. Let's look at some numbers. So check this out. In this test, an AI agent was doing some UI automation. Running it with a model on a local machine took about 60 seconds, a full minute. Running that exact same agent through Ollama Cloud, 9 seconds, just 9. The difference is just staggering. So the key takeaway here is this. We're talking about a massive performance boost. I mean, depending on what you're doing, you could be looking at anywhere from 10 to 100 times faster execution. That is a completely transformative speed up for any kind of development or debugging work. It's insane. All right, so you've seen the problem, you've seen the solution, and you've seen the proof. You're probably thinking, okay, how can I start using this like right now? So let's get into the practical stuff, how to use it, and the best ways to do it. And honestly, it really could not be any easier. If you've used Ollama before, the command is exactly the same. You just add one little word at the end. Cloud. That's it. No complicated setup, no API keys to juggle. You just tell it to run in the cloud. It's that simple. Now for a few pro tips. It's a good idea to use the cloud for the bigger models, anything over, say, 13 billion parameters.
The smaller ones might actually run just fine on your laptop. And this is a big one. Always mask sensitive data before you send it. And of course, use this new speed to build and debug your automation flows way faster. It's perfect for quick prototypes and just trying ideas out.
And just as important, here's what you shouldn't do. This is critical. Do not pass production secrets or sensitive information in your prompts. Just treat it like any other third-party service. Also, try to avoid sending, a whole novel in a single prompt. Keep the payloads reasonable to keep things running smoothly.
So, we have covered a ton of ground. Let's wrap this up and boil it all down to the most important takeaways. The future is here, and you know what? It's really fast.
So here's your quick cheat sheet. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. Cloud equals speed. Local equals load on your machine. That little cloud suffix is the magic word. You need 0 GPUs to make this happen, and it is the perfect tool to speed up your automation and debugging cycles.
So what's the bottom line here? What does this all mean? It means you can now build incredibly powerful, next-level AI tools using the normal, low-cost hardware you already have. And you can do it at speeds that were just a fantasy before.
And that really leaves us with this final thought. This combination of AI and QA, it's not just a fad, it's the future-proof combo. And tools like Ollama Cloud are tearing down the barriers, making that future available to everybody right now. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?